everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Um, this is a tough video to make, but I think it might be one of the most important messages that I ever film and put out. And it's a message that people are not going to want to hear. You're not going to want to hear it, but I think it shines light on reality. And shines light on some truths. But maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Time will tell. But pretty much, I wanted to talk about life, the Christian life, and that, if you've ever grown up in the church, or if you've watched a lot of sermons or something, or you've hung around Christians, then you've probably heard like the message of Christianity, of how, you accept Jesus into your heart, you're saved, right? After that, life is pretty simple. All you have to do is just follow God, stop sinning, and then you'll be good. And God will help you in your sin, and help you overcome it. It'll be easy, it'll be simple. But I don't think it's that simple. And for the longest time, I would think that, hey, the sins that I'm struggling with right now, I just have to deal with them, and then after that, one day I'll have victory over it. I'll never deal with these sins ever again. That's what I thought, and that's probably what you think as well, right? Think of the sins you're dealing with, the ones that have a hold on you. You know what I mean? The ones that you deal with a lot, that they keep recurring. You know what I mean? I want you to think of those sins. I want you to think of that one in your head. For me, it was being sneaky. You know what I mean? It was stealing. It was lying. It was sexual sin. I mean, I have like almost every single sin, I guess, that I struggle with. But I would always think, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to overcome these sins. And I know that one day I'll be free from it. One day I'll be free from sexual sin. One day I'll be free from lying if I put in the work. And one day I just won't be tempted as much anymore. I'll just be strong in my faith. And I'm sure a lot of you believe that as well. Here's the problem, though, and this is the reality check that I wanted to tell you all. I've been trying to talk with more adults, and whether online or in person. And I also read a book about some stats, and it's pretty crazy. Now, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl watching this, but what I'm going to talk about next, it deals with sexual sin. And I know a lot of people be like, oh, sexual sin, I don't deal with that, and this guy's weird, let me just click off. But I encourage you to listen in on this, even if you don't struggle with it, because I'm gonna share some stuff, and maybe you'll be more inclined to learn more about this stuff. But I know that the majority of people will struggle with sexual sin. And that would be the main example that I'm using in this video, because I think it's one that's more elusive than the other sins, and one that people don't really talk about much. But I feel like it's my duty to talk about this, to bring it to light, and have Christians be more, feel more normal to talk about it, and to share that, hey, I struggle with this. But I'm getting off track here. What I wanted to talk about was some stats, and it's pretty crazy, these stats. Pretty much, I was reading some book, and it shared some stats about the Christians. Well, first off, let me share the stats of like the world. If you search up like how many people watch porn and masturbate, dude, it's heavily the majority of humans. It's like 90% or something crazy, and that's an eye opener for I feel like a lot of people that we're not alone in this, and for those that don't struggle with it, you best be ready to deal with it one day, because maybe you'll never struggle with it, but your spouse might, and you better be there, like be ready for when you find out that, hey, this guy's like watching porn behind my back and I just found out. We have to be ready for this, because it's like, this shouldn't come as a shock. You should be ready for this. You should know what to do, because the majority of the Christian men, this is one of the stats, it was saying how the majority of them, what was it, like 4 out of 5 men deal with this, and most of the Christian leaders deal with this, and that's why you see all these sex scandals with these famous pastors, right? Finding out that, oh shoot, they're cheating on their wife and doing all these crazy things, and it surprises us. Like, what? How could that be? But the reality is that that's like the majority of people do that, and that's just crazy to think that, hey, I myself, I might not think that when I get married, why would I cheat on my wife? The stats show that that's highly possible, and that's not a situation, like something that I can be like, well, that's not gonna happen to me. That's not me. That's not me. I have to very well much think that, like, hey, that could be me, because the majority of guys are struggling with this. These adults, these men, and women too, but I'm talking more about men because I'm a guy. That most of these men are struggling with this in the church. That's crazy, man. You go through your whole life, especially as a younger Christian, right? And you're struggling with these sins, and you're like, one day I will be free from this. When I'm in a relationship, I'll be free. When I get married, I'm gonna be free. That's not the case. The majority still struggle with sexual sin, and that's like a crazy thing you gotta think about. For people who struggle with it, like yourself, maybe you don't even struggle with it, but you better be ready for it, because your partner might be struggling with it, and we have to be there for them as Christians, right? Shouldn't be hating. We should be more empathetic and be like, hey, I get it. Majority of people do this, and this is not a crazy occurrence. Let me try to help. But why I wanted to bring this up, this example of sexual sin, and the fact that the majority of men still struggle with it. It doesn't matter, like, all these years go by, even in the church, they might be serving in the church. All those people, bro, they're still watching porn and masturbating in the corner when their family's not looking. And that should be damn, like, what? How's that possible? Now, I want to bring in a concept from the Bible that you need to understand, and it's one that has spoken to me. Like, it's one of the most important things that I think about, and that concept is the flesh. What is the flesh? The flesh is our sinful nature. What is our sinful nature? It's the idea that we have an affinity to sin, meaning that we are inclined to sin. That is our nature. It is in our nature to like go towards sin. And pretty much why that's important, why we have to bring that up, why we have to talk about this, why we have to place so much importance on this, is that the reason why those stats are so high the 99% of guys are gonna struggle with this sexual sin, and I'm sure like a very high majority of women as well. It's because of our flesh. It is in our nature to sin. It is in our nature to be sexually immoral, and not just like not just sexual sin, but every other sin. Talk about lying. Talk about being envious and being angry. You know, it's a part of our nature. You know, I was spending the whole year last year trying to like deal with my sexual sin. You know what I mean? Trying to get over my addictions. And right now, you know, I made that video, Life After Porn. I don't even know. That was like a month ago, maybe less. But I said in that video, hey, you know, I relapsed in December, and in that video I said, hey, I'm not gonna go back. You can go watch that video. I literally said like, yeah, I'm never going back. And it's been over a month, maybe like almost 2 months since that relapse. And guess how many times I've sinned sexually? 0. But it was not easy. And it's sort of demotivating, right? That it doesn't get easier. That every day will be a battle. Every day for the rest of my life. Because I have the flesh within me, I will always be inclined to sin. I will always be inclined to sexual sin. And that's just a fact. That's something I have to deal with. It doesn't get easier, and it never will. And you know, I found myself, when was it? Just a few days ago, it was like a week ago, I was being tempted like crazy. And I almost fell back into that sin. I was on the edge of doing it. And then I made a video the next day about like how, you know, sometimes when we do what's right, it doesn't even feel good. It like feels like a loss. That's why I made that video, because it was like I was tempted so badly. My flesh was so like it was overpowering, that even though I overcame the temptation, I still was like, damn, like this sucks. I don't feel good overcoming it. And that's the flesh for you. This will never end, and for the rest of my life, I'm going to have to be struggling on the ground, being tempted to sin. And I'm sure you can think of those sins. Like I said earlier, think of those sins that you're dealing with that are so hard. It might not be sexual sin for you. It might be something else. But that sin, it will never go away. And that's just the reality of it. That just sucks. I mean, because for the longest time I thought, hey, you know, one day I'll be fully, like, I'll be done with this sin. You know what I mean? I'll be done with sexual sin. I'll never have to go back, you know. You know, when I'm in a relationship, or when I'm married, or when I have kids, you know, then like how could I think of watching porn? How could I think of masturbating? But the fact is that the stats show the majority of men still do that. And I'm a human. I'm just like them. I can't change that. The flesh is part of me, and yeah, I'm gonna have to go the rest of my life fighting. Now this is a pretty dark, I guess, and depressing video. But that's the reality check. The Christian life is not easy. And yeah, like I think that's like what most people feel, but no one talks about. That's why I want to make this video, because I think that a lot of people feel this way. They're like, damn, like this is never gonna end. These temptations just keep on coming. I feel like I want to quit. And then, you know, you go on social media and you might see like all these pastors or all these people, all these Christian influencers saying, oh, like, you know, God saved me from this, like life is good, It's just like, God save me from this addiction. Like, I'm free from this. Life is great. And then we're stuck here in the corner, feeling like trash, because it's like, damn, like I've been addicted to this drug for like 5 years, 10 years, and I've been getting angry at my family members for so long, just swearing at them, hate them. When's this ever gonna end? So I think that's why this video is important, because as much as it's like a feel bad type of video, at least it's like we can find community, we can find connection through this, because it's like we're all struggling through this. It's not easy for anybody. I'm sure that all these people on the social medias, they might say that it's easier, but in fact, give them a couple months and they'll be struggling. They'll be on the floor, you know. Yeah, this is like it's a deep talk. This is a real talk. This life, man. It's life. I want to end off this video with one more part. This might take a while, but this might be the important mindset check that we need. All right, so I've been talking about this, how like this will never end. These temptations, these struggles, it doesn't get easier. It never goes away because of the flesh that's in us. It will always be a part of us until we die. That we'll always be struggling. But we don't have to lose. We don't have to give in. Just because, you have the majority of people struggling with these sins for the rest of their life, doesn't mean that you have to do it as well. It might be hard. You might be literally the 1%, the 0.1% of Christians who finally overcame, sexual sin. You might be that 0.1% where it's not going to be easy, but it is possible, I think. Like, I'm just thinking about my own life. It's like, damn, like I want to be free from sexual sin, but I know that I'll always be tempted by it. I'll always have to fight it for the rest of my life. But at the very least, I'd want to be an example for the other believers through this channel, to show that it is possible, that there is hope, that we don't have to choose sin, choose the flesh, that we do have a choice, and that it is possible to kill the flesh and win, and to be free from these sins, to be holy as God is holy. The Bible comes up with all these laws, right? Telling us, hey, stop, don't do this, do this. I think it's possible to at least be a better human. We can't be perfect. We're humans, right? And if we were perfect, then yeah, we'd be going to heaven, right? But we're not, and that's why we need Jesus. But I think it's possible to be free from these sins. It's just not going to be easy. It's not the way in which you think, like, I'll be free because one day, one day I'll have it figured out. I'll finally figure out that one little secret, that one little trick that will get me free from watching porn, and I'll never go back. I'll never be tempted because I have that one little thing that I finally figured out. That's never gonna happen. That one little trick, that's what we're talking about in this video. That it's non-existent. That it doesn't. That these struggles never go away. When I think about my future, and I think about, like, one day I'll have a partner. One day I'll have a family. Do I want to be the man who still struggles with porn, still masturbating in the corner? Do I want to be that type of guy? Do I want to be the guy who's, lying to my children, getting angry at them? Do I want to be the guy who's envious of all my friends and coworkers? They're making more money than me. I want that car, I want that house. I don't have that. Do I want to be that type of person? And when I think about it, it's like, damn, 99% chance that I'll be that person. If I don't act now, if I'm not disciplined, if I don't take this seriously, I'm 99% I'll be that person. I'll be a waste man. And so will you. That's just the fact. You can't go easy. You can't be like, hey, today it's okay to, I just want to relax. I just want to watch some movies. I want to, hey, let's just lie around today. I don't feel like reading my Bible today. You get why this is like so important? Why I'm so passionate about this? Because it matters. This is not a game. Life is not a game. You can't just go wasting your time every single day. If you do, you're just gonna be like a piece of waste in the future. And it's not just you that gets impacted. But like I said in my last video, it impacts every person around you. What you decide to do today, whether it's, hey, like I should, scroll on social media, watch some TikTok ticks. You can do that, right? But how does that impact you? If you're not working on training yourself, you're screwed, man. You are screwed. Do not even try to think that it's possible to be free from porn if you're not actually trying, if you're not even disciplined with anything in your life right now. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like meditating. I don't feel like praying. Guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna be just like the rest of everybody else. You need to understand that the time is valuable right now. Every single second that you have, it better be towards training. It's crazy. Like, the devil has such a strong hold on all of us. Lucy has a chokehold on all of us, It's just so easy for him to win. So easy. Like, it's not even a fight. For all living our life like it's some sort of joke, some sort of game. Yeah, you can just do whatever you want, do what you love. You're screwed. That's just the fact. On this channel, I want to be someone that you guys can look up to, that you can learn from. And it's so flippin' hard, y'all. Like, I want to be someone that paves the way, that shows that it is possible. Like, I want to be the guy who trains so hard that I'm able to overcome these sins, that I'm able to kill the flesh and win. To show that you can do it as well. Because if I don't do that, then no one will. Like, everybody's just going to be doing their own thing, right? Living their own life. Oh, let's just do what you love, have fun. Jesus says, whoever, like, I'm gonna butcher his words. He says, like, whoever, like, I forget. I can't even think right now. It's like whoever gains like the world, like they lose everything. You have to give up your life to live. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't remember his words. See, I'm trolling right now. See, I should have known every single verse he says. Because I'm weak, because I'm undisciplined, and I keep saying, oh, it's okay. It's okay that you didn't know that verse. Like, in the future, man, I'm gonna be an absolute troll. I'm an ape, just sinning. We have to be more disciplined. We have to be more serious about our faith. Because like I said in this video, that flesh, bro, you're screwed. You're screwed if you don't deal anything with it. That flesh will always win, because it will always be a part of you. But if you can live by the Spirit, then you will not gratify the desires of the flesh, right? So that's something we have to do every single day. And it's something it needs to be like our job. It needs to be a purpose that, like, we have to not give up, not give in. Or else, like I said, with these stats, these stats are crazy, right? Got the majority of these guys, like, jacking off in the corner. Do I want to be that type of guy? Do I want to be, yeah, do I want to be like that? I feel like it just hurts, to think of, that my future wife and my kids who have to have their father, their husband in the house being just such a waste. So I try to think of more than just me. I try to think about everyone around me, my family, my friends. I can't help people to the best of my ability if all I'm doing is being a hypocrite. I tell people, I try to say that I'm a Christian, but I'm not even living it out. So yeah, this video is here to shine some light on reality. That this Christian life, it's not some game. It's not some fluff and all happiness and easy. It's difficult. It's a battle. If you don't get that, you're screwed. That's all I can say. Yeah, we need to be on our guard. We need to be always disciplined, always on the grind. Because if we're not, the flesh wins. This is a long video. I'm gonna wrap it up here. But if you enjoyed this video and if it spoke to you, I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts on this. You know what I mean? Am I the crazy one? Am I just talking a bunch of dung? I'd love to know. But if you'd want to continue the discussion, I'll be there. I'll be down there, and I'll be commenting back. If you guys want more videos like this, I'm gonna be continuing to pump out videos because I think it's important. It's important to talk about these topics like this, and to at least to show you that you're not alone in your struggles, that you're not the odd one out, that I think that everybody's struggling, and that we need to be more honest and just talk about it, because that takes away the power of sin. We keep it in the dark, try to keep it a secret, we'll be screwed. If we talk about it, and if you hear more people, hear more Christians saying yeah, I struggle with this thing, well, here's some tips on how to do this. I think it'll help us in the long run in creating that community, that church of that unity that the modern church really needs. So thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that we can be the ones to make the change, to make the right choice, to say no to the flesh, say no to mediocrity and sin, that we can claim overcome these struggles. Yeah, I know what I'm saying right now. It's getting late, but thanks for watching all, and just remember, if anyone then knows the good they ought to do but doesn't do it, it is sin for them.